Hey guys, before we get into the video, I just wanted to mention that I am starting a new local global series for UPW based in 1985. It's going to be called the Golden Age of Uproar. But if you do want to take part in that live stream and, build this company with me, you're going to have to head over to the Patreon and donate at least $1 every single month. There is a lot of other perks that come with each tier, but I'll let you guys read through those on your own. But if you do want to be a part of these live streams, make sure to go ahead and head over to the Patreon and give us a look. Hello everyone and welcome to Outside Interference and to episode number 27, 26, 20-something of our UPW Local Global series. Today we're just going to have UPW License to Kill 2019 so I can get us back on track in terms of the pay-per-view schedule. But before that, we are going to be signing a couple people for the UPW Women's Invitational. I don't know if that's the name I'm for sure going with right now, but that's the working title, I suppose. So let's go ahead and get into that. Of course, the Invitational is going to have some people who are already on the roster, and it is going to have some people that I just don't want to show you, so that it can, of course, be a surprise. But I guess Allison Kay, a current or former Impact wrestler. I don't know if she's still with the company, but I haven't seen her on TV in forever, so I'm assuming she is not. Let's go ahead and try to get her down. I would not like... I'm also going to be signing them all to 3-month deals, just so I don't give anything away. But $9.30, that's reasonable enough. We have enough money to spare. Next up, I would love to get Ashley Flair, but she is in prison for the next 11 months and 2 weeks. And let's try to see what happened there. Breaking and entering. Don't know why she was breaking and or entering any place, but that's obviously never a good thing. Candice LeRae, that's definitely someone we want to pick up. And of course all of these deals are going to be pay per appearance because I am not big enough to offer written deals. But oh my god, I cannot wait until I am, because I really don't like having to fear for my top talent being poached by WWE before I start booking a storyline. But Candice LeRae and Allison Kay are going to be two of the contestants in the 8-person tournament. I would do it longer, but that would just take too long and honestly cost me too much money. But our last name should make up for that, as it is going to be Davina Rose, currently ranked number 344 in the Power 500, although if you do watch the Academy series, you'll know that she kind of turns into a badass. I think she's won Wrestler of the Year at least 2 times, maybe even 3, but of course we'll sign her to a 3-month deal here, exclusively in the ring, and hopefully we can convince her to stick around for a little bit longer than those 3 months, even if she doesn't win the tournament, because of course she will be quite the asset for UPW's women's division, or the company as a whole, really. And that's pretty much going to wrap us up for the pre-show in terms of UPW License to Kill. So let's go ahead and get into the card. So UPW License to Kill 2019 starts off with Kairi Hojo defeating Virginia Blackwood in 8:29 when Virginia Blackwood intentionally got disqualified. This got a 51, Hojo got a 54, Virginia Blackwood got a 44, and there were no worker improvement. So basically the story of this match, Virginia Blackwood realized that she was not going to win on her own merits, so instead she decided to give Kairi Hojo the win in the worst way possible, taking a chair to the former champion. Moving on to the next segment, where she continues attacking Hojo with a chair until security breaks them up. Blackwood walks slowly to the back, eyeing her victim the entire time. This got a 50 rating, and this feud is pretty hot and definitely a good way to start off the show. We can go ahead and move on to the next match, a bout that had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Dalton Castle and the Boys defeated LAX in 13-18 when Dalton Castle defeated Angel Ortiz by pinfall. Apparently, Brent Tate and Angel Ortiz were both off their game, a 38 rating. The Tate brothers got 31 and 30. Castle got a 46. Colon got a 38. Santana 31 and Ortiz 29, with Alex Colon improving in technical skills. So not much else to say about this. This match was really just to help out Steve Corino, as Obviously, the Castle clan would be distracting and wearing out LAX in this match, so they would have less of an impact in the Homicide vs. Steve Corino match that is coming fairly soon. But first, we have Jason Kincaid losing to Cody Hall in 11:46 by pinfall with a razor's edge. Cody Hall wins the UPW Ironman title. A 45 rating, Kincaid got a 47, Hall got a 40, and a great match by both of these two. No worker improvements, but Cody Hall definitely has performed better in the last couple weeks than he has previously, and he's improved probably more than anyone else. On the roster, except for maybe Jason Kincaid, who has also done extremely well. But it looks like that was not enough, as Cody Hall was able to take the title off Jason Kincaid. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next segment. An extremely short match. Vanessa Craven defeated Barbie Hayden in 5:11 by pinfall with a sit-out powerbomb. Craven makes defense number 2 of her UPW Women's title. Hayden was really off her game and had an in-ring performance of 35. And Craven got a 46 for a 39 rating. Not too great, but can't complain too much about it. As long as it's around the 40 range, I'm not too mad. After the match, Penelope Ford gives Barbie Hayden the cold shoulder and walks to the back without her. So obviously Ford is pretty pissed off that Barbie Hayden wasn't able to capture the UPW Women's title. Quite frankly, she wasn't even able to get close. So a 49 rating here, a great way to continue the show. So we'll go ahead and move on to what is possibly the match with the highest stakes of the evening. Homicide defeated Steve Corino in an Extreme Rules match in 10:08 by pinfall with a cop killer. Steve Corino was tiring by the end, which is kind of disappointing because it's only a 10-minute match, but I guess he has gotten pretty up there in age, so I can't blame him too much for that. Homicide got a 46 and Steve Corino got a 23. No worker improvements, which is expected. They're both pretty advanced in age, and a 35 rating. Pretty decent. I mean, better than I thought it would do. This is probably going to be the last time I bust out Steve Corino in the ring, at least in a singles match, because as you can probably see, his ratings just aren't there. They never really have been in this save. It was just far more passable for him to be getting 23s whenever we had a less talented roster, but at this point, it's a little bit old. But even so, Homicide does win a title shot for both him and Alex Colon, and they will be looking to cash that in as soon as possible, I'm sure. After the match, LAX try to continue beating Steve Corino after the final bell is rung, but Dalton Castle and his boys run out to make the save. LAX give up on the assault and celebrate their victory as Castle helps Corino up. This got a 42 rating, and I didn't want to have another massive brawl. This was just like LAX, they've already been beaten once. Tonight they don't want to turn it into 2, especially when this is the time they're supposed to be celebrating. So they just leave Steve Corino to be tended to by Castle and his boys. We'll go ahead and move on to the next match, which is a decent match. I don't know if I'd call it that, but Next Wave defeat Chaos in 11:36 when Colby Corino defeated JT Dunn by pinfall. During the match, we also had Cody Hall run in and attack Corino. Next Wave win the UPW Tag Team titles. Unfortunately, Flex Freeman was really off his game, only managing a 27 to Colby Corino's 32, JT Dunn's 44, and Joey Janela's 37, a 33 rating, no worker improvements. But Next Wave are your new UPW Tag Team champions. I'm sure Chaos won't respond well to that by any means, but that is a story for a later episode, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next segment. After the match, Jason Lee, Colby Corino, Flex Freeman, Cody Hall, JT Dunn, and Joey Janela won't stop fighting, and despite attempts by security to break them up, it's an all-out brawl to the back. So a 30 rating here. It was rated on overness because I didn't want to write the segment, so obviously not the best rating, but I just needed an angle after the match. But in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Ryan O'Reilly defeated David Starr in 12:14 by pinfall with a rooftop drop. 44 rating, a great match. David Starr got a 37, Ryan O'Reilly got a 48. Even with David Starr being really off his game, this was a great match, of course. And no worker improvements, but this is the first of their best of 7 series, best of 5. I can't remember what it's best of, I'll have to go back and check. But Ryan O'Reilly does take the first match, which is obviously a big hill that David Starr is going to have to overcome in the near future. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next segment. The camera pans to Aaron Bauer and Joel Gertner, who are sitting at the announce table preparing for the impromptu main event. Bauer says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have just gotten word that Alex Del Barrio has set up an impromptu title match between Hansen and Fire Ant." Gertner then follows up with why Fire Ant would ever want to take a match against a guy like Hansen, especially without preparation, is beyond me, Aaron. This got a 22 rating, obviously not the best, just a throwaway transition angle leading into our main event, which got a 40, an extremely short match. Hansen defeated Fire Ant in 3:52 by pinfall. Hansen makes defense number 5 of his UPW heavyweight title. So here, Hansen and Alex Del Barrio are just showing that they have the power in UPW. They can set up matches when they want. They can put the title on the line when they want. And really, they can hijack a show whenever they want, because they do have the power. They do hold that UPW heavyweight championship. And I'm sure it didn't hurt with the fact that Steve Corino was pretty incapacitated by his match with Homicide. But let's see if there were any worker improvements, which there were none. So let's go ahead and end the show. A 43 rating. Obviously not the best. Not too bad. I would have liked to seen more from this, but there were matches that we just couldn't have skipped, even though I probably would have liked to, looking at this rating. But for storyline reasons, we had to have them, and it didn't really hurt us that much, so no hard feelings here. A 43 rating is pretty damn good, especially for a small company like ourselves. But I'm going to go ahead and end off the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see ya in the next one.
Heat in my vein like vernacular. Cook up the beat with a spatula. Y'all are not ready for action. I'm smoking these rappers and feeling spectacular. Making a killing like massacre. Watch out, I'm whipping my wrist. Right on my city, been pissed, but I show 'em love.